This tape has been copyrighted. Any duplication or reproduction without written consent is prohibited.
I'm going to talk about avoiding the pitfalls, okay? These are the pitfalls of Primerica. There's 26 of them. And I'm going to go through them real fast and get you out here by noon, the last meeting of the month. I want you to avoid the pitfalls, okay? You guys want to avoid the pitfalls? Yes. Okay, let's get you to avoid those pitfalls. Number one pitfall is caring more about what people think than getting the job done, okay? If you can get past what people think about you, all right? I've been talking a lot, Juan, we've been talking a lot about this lately, about getting past what people think about you. Because what people think about you is basically none of your business, but what you've got to learn how to do, right, as long as you, this is how I have been able to do this, okay? My focus is always in doing the right thing. I always focus on doing the right thing. In other words, I would never do anything that's illegal, unethical, immoral. I just wouldn't do it, okay? So I know when I'm talking to people, I'm talking to a potential client or potential recruit, I'm not worried about anything bad happening. I'm just worried about telling them the way things are, right? Like if somebody's not saving any money, they've been working for 10, 15 years, I don't have any problem saying, Kurt, you have been working for 15 years now, right? You've made at least $30,000 a year for 15 years. You've made about $400,000, $500,000 of cash, and you have $5,000 saved. How do you think your financial planning is working so far? So what's going to happen is if you don't make any changes, if you don't do what I'm about to present to you, the next 15 years are going to go by, you're going to be the same position. How do you feel about that? So are you open to going ahead and taking advantage of what we're going to do here? Or whatever, right? I'm going to tell him directly. I'm going to be very direct about why he needs to do this. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. I'm going to say, this is where you are. Do you have any passive income? No. You need passive income. You're not free right now. My goal is to get you free. Well, in order for you to get free, I'm going to show you how to develop passive income. I'm going to get you investing a lot more money. We're going to get you making more money so you can save more money. We're going to get you out of debt. I'm going to help you do all those things, okay? When was the last time somebody sat down with you and said, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Has anybody done that for you? Well, good. I'm the guy. I'm the best guy you've ever met in your life. No one's going to help you more than me. Nobody cares about your success and your future more than I do. Okay? Because your success equals my success. If you're successful, I'm successful. I'm committed to you being successful because that makes me successful. Okay? And I'm going to tell them. I'm going to just let them know. Right? Be direct with people. Stop caring about, what will they think if I'm direct? What will they think if I tell them the truth? What do they think if I tell them they're dead broke and their financial plan sucks right now, they're not doing, I'm not going to say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? You've got to be direct with people. People are struggling week to week. They're not saving any money. They're not making enough money. Look, I've got a way to help you make money. Just let me help you make. If I can show you how to double your income, why wouldn't you do the business with me? At least check it out. At least do it part-time. At least go on 4 or 5 appointments and let's see if you can do this or not. I'll do all the work in the beginning anyways. You have nothing to lose, but just go with me. Can you go with me and sit next to me and just nod your head? That's all you need to do. Come on, why don't we go and let me see if we can make some money. I'll show you how to do this. And when you see it, you're going to think it's awesome. Come on, let's go. Let's do something. Let's make something happen. Start being more direct with people. Way more direct. Everybody's struggling anyways, right? What do you got to lose? If they're going to say no, they're going to say no no matter what. So why not just tell them the truth? Why not just tell them what you can do for them? Why not? Look, Alex, if you don't tell them what you can do, if you don't sell yourself, who's going to sell you if you don't sell you? Who? You got to sell you, Mike. Mike, you're awesome at Primerica. If anybody would listen to you and do what you tell them to, they'd make money, right? Tell them that. Tell them, come follow me. I'm good at this thing. I know what I'm doing. I could help you. Let's go. Let's go make some money. Tell them, John. Tell them directly. Recruit them. Sell them on what we're doing and who we are. 2, have a disciplined self-improvement program. Look, you got to work on yourself. You got to grow. You got to be working harder on yourself than anything else you work on. Just grow yourself. Because what happens is your self-confidence is what determines what you do. If you're not self-confident, you got to get self-confident. You got to grow yourself. Whether that means that you're a new person, learn how all the products work and how everything, F&A works and how to market the product, whatever it is, make yourself become a professional. Well, the one thing that happens that I figured out is that amateurs don't get paid, but pros do, right? So if you're going to be in a business, why not be a professional? John, you want to be a professional baseball, but you didn't do that. Why don't you become a pro here? Professional baseball players make big money. Professional Primerica people make big money too, right? Except we make it for a lot longer than they make it, right? The average pro athlete makes money for 3 or 4 or 5 years maybe, and then they're done. There's a few that have long careers, but the majority of them don't do that. In Primerica, you can make big money forever. And even when you're old, you could look. If I was a professional athlete, I would be done 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, right? Because I'm 48 years old. Probably by the time you're 30 in your mid-30s, you're done, right? My thing's just getting going right now, right? Next 10 years, when I'm in my 50s, I'm going to make more than I've ever made, right? That's awesome. That's better than professional sports, okay? Don't seek comfort in avoiding things that make you afraid. Look, stop avoiding the things that make you afraid. Prospecting, if that makes you afraid, stop avoiding it. Making those calls, call those people. Let them know. Let them know you've got something for them, right? You need when you find good people, you guys, this is the one thing I did all the time. It works like magic, okay? If I find a good person, right? If you find a good person, if I'm talking to Kurt Joyner, right? And Kurt is a great guy. He's married. He's got children. He's a competitive guy. I know he's competitive. He's an athlete. He's got great people skills. He's good with people. He's just the right guy, right? You guys know anybody like that? Yes. Okay, those people you should be recruiting forever. And if I met him and he goes, oh, Hector, it's not for me right now. I like my job. I've got a good job. My I'm pretty comfortable. I would say, listen, Kurt, I know the timing's not right for you and Donna right now, but man, I think so much of you. I think you're so awesome. I know that if you ever decided to get involved in Primerica with me, you guys would kill it. You guys would be one of the top performers in all our company. I guarantee you're $1 million a year guy. There's no question in my mind about that. Would you mind if I followed up with you and I just kept you posted on what I was doing and what kind of some of the changes happened in our company and anything happens? Would you mind if I did that and let you know what was going on? I want you to feel, Kurt, that when I call you, I don't want you to feel like I'm harassing you, all right? I want you to know the reason I'm calling you because I think so highly of you. I want you to take it like a compliment, okay? I want you to think, wow, he really thinks I'm special, because I do, and that's the reason I'm going to call you. If I didn't think you were special, I wouldn't follow up with you. I wouldn't even bother. But I just know that if you ever decided to see your way clear to get involved with me, you guys would be unbelievable, man. You are the perfect, absolute perfect prototype kind of couple that would do great in this thing. And I just know that someday that, we're going to work together, okay? Would you mind if I did that? And then I start calling them every few months. How's it going? How's Donna? How are the kids? He's a big soccer nut, right? Maybe the World Cup's going on, and are you following the World Cup? Did you see this? Maybe I know his favorite team. I might look in the internet and see who his favorite team, how they're doing. Hey, I sent you this article. Did you get that? I got his email. With email today, you can keep in contact with people all the time, right? It'd be easy to do that. And send them and let them know what's going on. We got a contest. Our company's doing a bonus program this month. I got a bonus this month. I got this. I just got promoted to regional leader. I just got promoted to RVP. I just opened my own office. I just won a contest to Hawaii. Every time something happened, every time something good happened, I would be contacting everybody that I was prospecting, everybody that I was working on. Everybody, just won a trip to Hawaii, just did this, just did that, just got promoted. I would be those people, because I'm trying to recruit what? Directs, okay? So I want my list of potential directs, that list of people growing and growing, right? I don't want to have 50, 60, 70, 100 people that I'm working on. I know I'm not going to recruit them all at the same time. I'm not. But if I have that list and I'm prospering and I'm working it's just a matter of time. Is he going to get shafted at work? For sure. I just don't know when it's going to happen. I just want him to be thinking about me when it happens, right? That's what I want. That's what happened with Rick, right? Followed it with Rick, and then boom, he got shafted. He was pissed. I talked to him. I had been talking to him, and he said, "Come over. I want to see this thing in." I sit down with him. Hey, I'm making $1.5 million plus a year off of Rick right now.
That's like farming.
It's like farming and risk. It's exactly what it is. It's farming. It's cultivating. It's watering. It's fertilizing. It's de-weeding. It's whatever. Okay. But it's farming. But see, if you're not doing that all the time, if you just try once or twice with somebody and you give up, how are you going to recruit them? You can't give up over once or twice. It may take a bunch of times you have to contact that person, right? You don't know. Who knows, right? How many of you have been prospected more than once?
6 months.
Okay, there you go, right? So there you go, right? Okay. Master the closing techniques. You got to learn how to overcome objections. Just get the tapes. Overcoming objections. You got to teach your people how to overcome objections. The only thing standing between people and making big money is their ability to overcome people's concerns and their objections, right? If you could overcome all the objections, recruiting objections, sales objections, then what can stop you from making a lot of money? Nothing. Just working, right? You just got to overcome the objections, right? You got to teach people how to do that. 5, don't get bored doing the same things over and over. Repetition. See, one of the things that I do is I don't have a problem repeating myself, as you notice that, right? Because I'm saying the same thing to you today that I've said 1,000,000 times, right? Over and over and over and over. And guess what? For the next 10 years or 20 years or whatever, I'll keep doing it again. You know, because there's always new people, and if you haven't got it yet, I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to keep talking about what's important. Just like Pete Carroll, who did they kill UCLA? Oh my God, they just massacred them, right? I mean, UCLA was a good team too. They just destroyed them. I can't wait for the Texas, and that's going to be incredible, right? But the thing about that, though, is I guarantee you, at the beginning of the season, they have a regiment that they go through every year. Every great sports program does the same thing. They start with the fundamentals. They start with the basics. I'm watching a video on a golf video, right? That yesterday I spent probably 4 hours just watching the guys putting, chipping, pitching, full swing, the whole thing. And this guy, great teacher from Australia, Peter Croker, it's really helped me a lot. And so I'm watching this video. I read the book and I got the videos. I just watched it yesterday. And this guy is so meticulous in his teaching. Everything from the grip, where you put your hand. It was kind of boring actually watching it. And I had to force myself to watch it because I wanted to get ahead and keep going forward, right? But because I got impatient, right? But I watched every little thing, and he was very meticulous about and repeated himself in each of the things. He must have repeated himself 10 times on each thing in each little section of that video program, because that's what you've got to do to make sure people get what you're talking about. You've got to repeat, right? And so you've got to be able to not get bored doing that, right? I have done op nights for 22 years now. I do the same basic thing every op night for not 22 months, 22 years I've been doing it. I've been doing RVP meetings. My first RVP in when was it? In 87, right? I think something like, or 86, I don't care. In 87, I recruited my first RVPs. I've been having RVP meetings since 1987. I've been doing everything the same, Saturday trainings, for 22 years. And every Saturday morning at the training, I say the same things for 22 years, and over and over and over again. And when I thought about that, one of the things I heard a long time ago is to be really a pro, you have to do all those fundamental things like the very first time. And if people can tell, right, that you're bored with it or whatever, it doesn't sell. You with me? Okay? And they use the example of Frank Sinatra. How many times do you think he sang New York, New York? Huh? But every time he was in front of a new audience or a different audience, what did they want to hear? They wanted to hear New York, New York. And you think he was sick and tired of singing New York, New York? I guarantee you he probably wanted to sing new material, but you know what? His fans wanted to hear New York, New York, right? And I guarantee you, every time he did that, he was getting paid $1 million, $2 million to do a concert at the end of his career, right? Singing New York, New York to finish up his program for all those years, right? And he did it like it was the first time because he's a pro. Are you a pro? Do you get bored easy? Do you want to change everything all the time? Think about it, okay? 6, come to grips with the numbers. The numbers are the numbers, okay? That's why you've got to get recruiting going, because the numbers are the numbers. There's a certain number of people you have to recruit to create an RVP. There's no getting around that. If you're going to be an RVP, you're going to have to recruit probably 100 people to find 1 or 2 RVPs out of 100, maybe. Okay? That's just the way it is. So you got to come to grips with the numbers, right? If you invite 10 people to an op night, how many show up? 2, 1, 2, 3, maybe? Okay? That's the way it is. Okay? That's the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. 7, people take things personally. Don't focus on the criticism. Look, if you're going to be leaders of men and women, you're going to hear criticism. Okay? You just are. You can't be a leader and not have criticism. It's not possible. Okay? You're going to have some. And not everybody's going to think you're the best thing since sliced bread. Some people are going to, like I'm talking today, I may have said something or said it in a way that it offended you some way, all right? Or whatever you think. It doesn't really matter, okay? It's okay. My intention's good. You may take it the wrong way, but my intention's honorable, right? So I'm not going to be fretting about whether you didn't like what I said, okay? Because I didn't say it in that vein, right? And the vein I say in everything is to try to help you grow and to see it more clearly and to be more successful. So if as long as that's what your intention is, then what people think is what they think. And if you offend somebody, apologize, right? And if I offend you in any way, I apologize. If you have a problem with me, tell me. Don't go talk to everybody about it. Tell me. Be a man or a woman and tell me, right? Don't be talking about me or talking, right? Just come up and tell me. I'll apologize. I'll fix it, right? No big thing. I have no intention to try to hurt anybody. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to make this thing grow. That's my whole intention here, right? If you take it that way, you're taking it wrong. 8, pay the price to understand the products. You got to get people to understand cash value versus term, mutual funds, our loan program. You got to get people knowing how to do everything. You got to become a professional in each phase of the product line, in each part of the business. Okay, at all of them, not some of them, all of them. If you're going to become and build a great business, man, you got to get great at all of them. You got to know them all. How long does it take to learn all of our products? How long, if you're really serious, Mike, how long do you think, if you got really focused, it would take you to learn how our smart program work, how mutual funds work, and how term versus cash value work? How long? Within a month, absolutely. If it takes you longer than a month to master each phase of our business, you know what? You're not investing enough energy and time in knowing about those things. Our loan product is not that complicated. Mutual funds are really simple. Term versus cash value is really simple. If you focus for a month, you should be basically an expert on those products after 30 days. It doesn't have to take you a year. But you should fundamentally, if somebody's really serious about doing our business, you could master our product line in a month. Doesn't have. If you don't know, like if you're around here and you don't really know the SMART program, you guys are full-time, what the hell are you doing? If you don't really understand how mutual funds work, what are you doing? If you don't really understand how variable life, universal life, all those things work and how to explain them, what are you doing? How could you not know that stuff inside and out? How could you not sit across the kitchen table and feel powerful when you're sitting across the table to explain those things? If you're serious about becoming wealthy and building a big business, you should know that stuff. And anybody that you bring on board, they should know it too. And you should make sure that they have the resources to know it. Right? You got a bunch of experts in your business, a bunch of professionals. How could you lose? You can't lose if everybody knows what they're doing, right? Number 9, close your partner on your team. Include him or her in your business. Build it together. You know, I know you don't see Jan a lot anymore, but she is still totally involved in the business. She runs the back office part of my business totally still today. Now, you don't see her. She does it from our home, right? We've got everything online. We've got our own everything. She still runs the whole thing. Still does. She knows every penny, where every penny goes. Everything. Believe me. Okay? She operates the whole thing and always has. She knows your numbers better than I know your numbers. Yeah. She does. Believe me. Okay? We built our business together. She was completely involved every step of the way, all the way. Okay? She was completely involved. We built it together. You should build it together, right? You should not keep them out in the dark, right? You're building something to take care of your family, you guys, forever, right? This is the thing to take care of your family. 10, become totally committed to being results oriented, getting checks. You got to get people focused on getting checks. You know, you got to get out of this visiting stage that people are in, right? When people go on appointments, you got to be talking about getting the check, closing, getting commitments. When you're sitting down with a client, you got to teach your people to say, look, when I come back, Kurt, if I can lower your insurance costs, give you more coverage, get you out of debt sooner, can I assume you're going to go ahead and do business with me the night we get back? No. If it helps you and it gets you, it improves what you're doing, and I save you money and I do everything I'm telling you, will you do business with me? No. Not guess. Will you do business with me? It's a yes or no. Okay, great. See, now, I would not stop until I get yes, I'll do business with you. Because I'm not coming back if I don't get yes. Exactly. See, most people wouldn't do that. Keep going till you get, no. I'm saying, look, if I come back and I give you more protection, lower costs, I get you out of debt 5 or 10 years sooner, I save you money there, I show you how to get a plan together to retire sooner and all that, if I can do all that, all I'm asking, if I can perform and do what I say I can do, will you go ahead that night? Will you? Yes? Yes. Can I get a handshake on that? Great. Okay, great. You're a man of your word, right? I don't have to come back and you're not going to say, oh, I want to think about it, right? That's not going to happen, right? Okay, great. You do that? I bet you don't do that because you're a weenie, okay? But see, what I don't want to do is I don't want to come back and have to fight with him to get this implemented. I'd rather deal with it right now. Because if he's not going to go ahead, I don't want to come back and spend another 2 hours of my life and not make any money and have a trainee with me and have my trainee not make money and have my trainee start thinking, this doesn't work. They come and they show them everything. We don't get any business. And then the trainee goes back to see his wife or husband and they go, how'd it go, honey? Oh, well, they didn't go ahead. And this happens 2 or 3 times and now they're going, maybe this Primerica thing doesn't work. No, what doesn't work is your trainer sucks. They can't close. They're big weenies. See, what happens for me is I always saw my time as being really valuable. And so I didn't want to be wasting my time and working with people that were hemming and hawing and not committed to their own. Look, if I'm putting together a plan for you that's going to get you out of debt faster, going to get you to retire sooner, it's going to get you in a lot better shape, I expect you to do business with me. Why wouldn't you? Right? And so I'm going to get that commitment. And if you don't give it to me, I'm not coming back. What am I going to come back for? What would be the point? Right? Come back because it feels good? No. And so if I'm training Kurt, my new trainee, I'm going to teach him how to close and get commitments because when he starts going on his own, I want him closing. And when he starts training his own team, I want him closing like I was closing so he can win. So he can succeed. If he doesn't close, if he doesn't have the balls to close like that, then he's going to lose. He's not going to win. And then he loses, the client loses because they don't get what they should have. Everybody loses. That's not happening with me. I'm closing. Closing, right? Getting commitments. Very, very... See, somebody says, well, I don't know, that's kind of uncomfortable. I don't want to... Look, if you don't see your time as being valuable, you're never going to be a closer. You've got to see your time. Look, if they say to me, I can't make that decision, I say, okay, great. Whenever you're ready to get serious about putting a plan together to get yourself out of debt 10 years sooner, save 50 grand, give me a call. Here's my card. I'd love to help you. See you later. Boom. I'm out of here. No problem. Not a problem. But I'm not coming back. What am I going to come back? Because see, that 2 hours that I'm going to come back, I could be with a new trainee on a real quality appointment with somebody that wants to do business and wants to change their life. But I'm not going to come back to somebody that isn't serious about their own personal situation. Well, Hector, some people need to think about it. No. They don't need to think about getting out of debt 10, 20 years sooner. They don't need to think about saving, retiring sooner and having the right protection and having a plan. What do you need to think about that for? What part of that do you need to think about? That's ridiculous, right? That means they didn't understand what you were doing. But you got to turn into closers if you're going to win. And you've got to get your teammates to be closers or they're not going to win, right? Alex is doing great and Mercy's because you guys, I guarantee, are closers. When you get on appointments, you get the check, right? That's why they do well, right? That's why all of you do well. That's why Kurt does well. That's why Mike does well. That's why you guys do. Any one of you are doing well, right? Jay, you're a closer, right? You get an appointment and you close, don't you? Okay. That's why you do well. Anybody that does well, they're closers. And if you want your people to do well, you better teach them how to be closers, okay? And get strong commitments in a professional way. You don't have to be rude, but you've got to ask for what you want. And what I want, Kurt, is for you to say, yes, I'm going to go ahead if I can help you. That's what I want. If you're not going to give me that, then I'm not going to give you any more of my time. Right? Because I'm not asking him to give me something and him not get anything in return. He's going to get out of debt sooner, save more money, right? Have more protection, have a plan. He's going to get all that. And I'm going to get a check. It's not like what do they call that? Where you, huh? Yes, quid pro quo, right? Quo. Yeah, quid pro quo. That's what it is, right? I'm giving you this, right? I expect that. That's the way we do business in this country. Correct? Yep. Nothing wrong with that. It's fair. He doesn't want to do that? That's fine. I'm not going to spend any more time on this. Exactly. Same thing with recruiting. If you're going to get in business with me, this is what I'm going to give you. This is what I expect from you. This is what I want from you. I want you to show up to every meeting. I want you to do what I tell you to do. I want you to listen to these tapes. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to answer every question. I'm going to train you really well. I'm going to make sure you know how to close. I'm going to show you how to make money. I'm going to do all that. I'm going to teach you how to do every phase of the business so you can be successful. Okay. 11, make commitment to be great. Good is not good enough to win. You got to ask yourself, are you great at Primerica right now? Are you great at it? Are you great at Primerica? If you're not great, then you need to be working to be great. Maybe you're great at one part of the business, but you're not at another. Well, then you got to get great at that part of the business too. If you're going to be great, you got to be great. Okay? And you got to focus on being great. If other people are great at everything, so can you be great at everything if you pay the price, right? 12, don't let up. Don't let up. When things start going well, that's the time to step it up, not the time to relax. I see you guys doing this all the time. You get things moving and then you let up. You let off the pedal. Look, the big problem with this is, right, I see people, this is just so sad, all right? When you let up, okay, it costs you money, right? But it's not just the money that it costs you, right? So what happens, well, it is the money, it's even bigger money. So let's say you got things going and then you start cruising, right? You start cruising. What happens now is you're growing, but when you start cruising, you level off, right? So because you're not growing anymore, all these people that you would have developed if you would have continued to grow, and all of the money, the overrides they would have earned you if you would have stayed growing, not continue to stay focused, cost you big money. Big money. It's not just that you didn't make that money, it's all the future money you would have made on the people you developed if you'd have stayed focused. You with me? It's all those other people that you would have developed. That could turn into hundreds and millions of dollars, literally, if you don't stay focused. And staying focused is treating your business like a business. It's not, you don't have to, right, kill yourself forever to stay focused. Folks, I'm focused on my business right now, but I'm not killing myself. I'm still focused on it, though. I still focus on what I need to do, right? I'm not disfocused. I have a life, but I still have never let up on my focus on my business, even though I have a life. So you think that you can't have a life and still be focused. You think you have to have one or the other, but it's not true. You could be really focused and still have a really great quality of life if you do it correctly. If you get wide, build a big base shop, build RVPs, you can be focused. I'm still focused. My business is growing. My business has grown quite a bit this year. My business has grown every year for 22 straight years, and it's going to grow bigger even this year than next year. I'm going to have even a better life next year than last, and I'm going to stay focused, but I'm still going to have a life. You can do both. You got to pay attention to what makes your business grow, right? What makes it grow? The basic things, you got to put on great meetings. You got to field train people. You know, you got to spend time with people. You got to build relationships. It's really simple. All right. 13. Don't manage. Instead, you must lead in the field and teach how to do it. Look, don't be a manager. Right. Managers don't make a lot of money. Leaders make a fortune, but managers don't make much. Right. It's a manager. When you start managing your business, you're done. You can't grow anymore when you start managing. You got to lead the business. You got to lead it, okay? And especially when you're trying to make things go on, man, you got to be recruiting direct, you got to be training, you got to be setting the pace, you got to lead the business until you have a lot of RVPs. If you don't have a lot of RVPs, you got to keep leading, okay? 14, don't let losers affect your attitude. Look, get wide and you won't have to talk to losers anymore, okay? Get wide and the losers will just go away. Just ignore. Losers, you just ignore them. People say, oh, I got these people and they're like complaining. Well, then just go find some other people. Why are you even talking to those people anymore? What are you talking to them for? Somebody starts complaining. See ya. I'm not going to talk to those people. Those are the losers are always looking, they think it's you, right? They always think it's you or it's something else. It's never them. It's always you or somebody else, right? And that person I'm not talking to, right? 15, what works today will not work 2 years from now. You have to grow. In other words, you have to get better. Like a lot of the stuff that, if you stay the same person in terms of your personal growth, right? You're not going to be able to keep growing because what you want to be able to do as time goes on is to attract more and better people as time goes on. That's the goal, right? When you come in the business, you're a certain level of competence. You can only attract a certain kind of person. But as you get better, you can attract better people. Right now, Kurt, you're attracting better people than you've ever attracted, I bet, right? Because you're better. Same thing with you, right? Look, I recruited a guy that made about $400,000 last year, and we just recruited another guy that made $700,000 last year. And they're both totally excited about the business right now. Well, guess what? I can recruit those guys because I'm better, right? That's how you do it. That's why I was able to recruit you, Mike, right? You're making $300,000. I was making, I don't know what I was making when you got in, but $1 million plus, right? And so I recruited you because I was better, right? If I was making $150 and you're making $300, you're not getting in my business. You with me? Yep. So you want to get better so you can continue to attract better people. Okay? Some of the people that you can't recruit today, if you get better, you'll be able to recruit a year from now or 2 years from now or 3 years from now. Right? Yep. Just keep growing. Just keep growing. 16. Don't buy things when you start to make money. Okay? When you start making money, resist the urge to buy the big house and to buy super expensive cars and do all that stuff. Do not do that. I've seen more people over the last 22 years ruin their careers by overspending before they have a built business. Okay? Make sure you don't do that. Be conservative. Okay? Your main objective in Primerica is to get debt-free and financially independent, not to have a big house on the hill and a fancy car. All right? That stuff will come if you keep growing your business. You'll get to the point where buying a house or doing that will be a piece of cake. It won't even be an issue for you, right? It'll be easy for you. And then you'll find when you get there, it's not even that important anyways. Really. Right? So just focus. Be careful about spending money, okay, before you're set up. You've got to be very, very careful about that. I saved $1 million in cash before I even thought about buying a big house. I had $1 million saved. And then I bought it, and my house payment was $4,000 a month, and I'm making like $800. Okay? So it wasn't like a big stretch for me. My income gets cut in half, and I'm still fine. Right? I was always worried about, if I buy this, and my income gets cut in half, will I feel okay about this purchase? That's how I determined to buy anything. If I didn't feel like my income could go in half, and I would still be okay about this purchase, I wouldn't buy it. There's no way I would buy that. You know, when I bought my beach house, I looked for like 2 or 3 years, and Jan said, "Let's buy a house." I no, I don't feel comfortable. I need to save some more money. I kept putting her off because I wanted to do it too, but I wanted to make sure that when I did it, it was a non-issue. I didn't have to worry about it. You know, I had a lot of money saved, and so I wanted to have it not be a big issue for me, just a piece of cake. Be careful about that, because some of you are about to start making some money right now, and everybody's going to want to spend your money for you. They are. They'll want you to buy a nice car, a nice house, and all that stuff. And you know what? They're not the one that has to live with it. You do. Okay? What you want to do is get to the point where you don't need anybody. You have a lot of money saved, and if anybody gives you a hard time, you just say, adios, I'll see you later. I don't need you in my life. You're a pain in the ass. I don't want you. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Yes. But if you don't have money saved, you can't do that. Everybody's so important to you. You got a problem. It's scary, okay? All right. Don't try to please, 17, don't try to please everyone. Pay attention to only the people who get results. Look, if people aren't on it and going, I'll amuse them. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take that into consideration. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, right. Not. Unless they're on it and working and growing, I don't really pay attention. Okay? I just don't. Because what's the point? Right? Okay, 18, your real clients are your agents. Your real clients are your agents. You guys are my real clients. Now, we have clients that buy products and services, but in the end, your real clients, Kurt, are your teammates that you're developing. They're the ones you better be taking care of. You better making sure they get what they need. You better make sure they're happy. You better make sure that you're providing all the services and all of the leadership and environment and all that to help them be successful, because if you can help them be successful, then everything takes care of itself. They're the most important clients, right? Your people. You know, you shouldn't be having problems with your people, okay? You should love your people, right? Your people are, I love you, Kurt. I love you, Mike. Right? Yeah, you better not be having problems with them, okay? All right, 19, number one objective is to make and save money, right? Make and save money. That's why you go into business. This is not philanthropy right here, okay? This is a business. You come in business to make money and save money, okay? That's the point here. That's why you got to be real careful about your time and getting deep commitments, because that will allow you to do that, okay? The primary function of any business is to make and save money, right? Not to solve the ills of the world. Okay, 20, people always need to have incentives. Should run contests all the time. Like, the company's doing a great job of that, man. They're awesome. This bonus for the RMs and all that, is that a great thing for you guys? I mean, they got something going all the time, man. This is awesome, okay? You should do the same thing in your base shop. 21, make people believe they're going to be big. In other words, you got to be telling people constantly how great they are, how great they're going to be. How awesome, how much potential they have. If they stay focused, if they get wide, you're going to be awesome. You've got everything it takes to win. You're the best. I think you're going to be incredible. You got to be constantly telling people why they're going to be great, what's good about them, what the great part of who they are is, okay? Just constantly tell them that over and over and over and over. Keep encouraging them, all right? Because people get down, right? They have a bad week or bad month. All of a sudden, they don't feel good about themselves. You want to be beating them up. They already feel bad. You don't need to make them feel worse, right? You make them feel good. 22, take complete responsibility where you're at. Create your own environment. You know, I've talked about that a lot. Just, wherever you are right now is where you are, okay? You don't need to feel bad about that. You need to get busy, right? If you're not where you want to be, then get busy. Change it. Don't commiserate. Don't go, oh, I'm such a loser. You know what I hate hearing is when I call people and I say, how's it going? Where you at? Oh, I'm not where I want to be. Just not where I want to be. Need a lot of work. No, I didn't ask you that. I asked you where you at. I just want to know where you at. What's the numbers? You're at $2,000 and one recruit. Well, tell me you're at $2,000 and one recruit. I don't really care. I just want to know where you're at, and then let's focus on where we're going to do to get you moving forward. I don't want you to talk about why you're not doing well or how bad you feel about it. I don't want to hear that. That doesn't help any of us, right, to talk about that. Let's talk about where we're going, all right? You are where you are. What are we going to do now? What's next? How are we going to change it? How are we going to move it forward? How are we going to get things moving, okay? 23? Yes. Do the personal production. Don't wait on your team. Look, if things aren't moving, get moving, all right? Go do 5, 10 grand. Go recruit 2 or 3. Go get it happening, man. Go see, what you want to do as a leader is take away every excuse that your teammates have. That's the reason to do 10 grand and 5 recruits or what. The reason is because all your people have a reason, an excuse why they're not doing well. But if they see you doing well, then all of a sudden the excuses are gone. And what you want to do every month, Alex, is take away everyone's excuse for doing poorly. What are you talking about? I just recruited 3 great people. I did 10 grand. I did 2 loans for 400 grand. I just did a $100,000 mutual fund sale. Man, I made a bunch of money. Things are awesome. What are you talking about? That's what you want to be able to say to people, right? But if you're sucking wind, right, and they're sucking wind, then it's a big old pity party, right? You don't want that. You want to take away the excuses. Go make something happen, all right? 24, desire to be liked keeps you from telling them what they need to do. Tell people the truth, okay? Be very direct with your people on what they need to do. They don't have to, you can't make them do it, but you have to tell them what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Juan, we had a really nice conversation the other day, right? Well, I don't know what the other day that was, right? What did I tell you, right? I just told you what you needed to do, right? You just got to get it done and not worry about what people think and be direct and all that, right? That we talked about for half hour, right? And so I wasn't trying to appease you. I was just telling you, look, this is the way it is. You got to grow up. You got to be a big boy, and you got to understand this is the way things work. And you got to just get out there and get your butt to work and tell people the way it is and be direct. And then you went and had a dinner with that couple, right, that you're trying to recruit, and you're real direct with them, and you found out the real truth, and it went great, didn't it? Yeah, there you go. So then, great, you did a great job there, right? That's what you got to do, is tell people what they need to do, right? Don't pussyfoot around. Don't think that if I tell them the truth, they're going to quit. Well, if they're going to quit, they're going to quit. You might as well find out now. Let's see where they're at, okay? If I need to spend time with this person or not, right? And get on with it. 25. Motivation. Okay. You got to find out what drives you. What is it that gets you going, all right? Everybody's different, but you better know what it is that gets you moving, right? What is it you want out of your life, right? What do you want from Primerica? You need to know what that is. You need to be able to articulate in a sentence or two what it is you want from Primerica. If I ask you, what do you want from Primerica, and you can't tell me, that's a big problem you have, okay? You better be able to tell anybody why you're doing this thing and what you want out of it, because if you don't, it's the thing that's stopping you from staying focused and doing what you need to do. So whatever that is, you need to figure that out, okay? What do you want from Primerica? What are you looking for, okay? For me, I wanted to live like I was on vacation. I want financial freedom. I wanted a lot of things. Okay, I knew what I wanted. It was clear as day what I wanted, right? I didn't have to think about what I wanted. I knew it, right? And don't you feel bad about wanting what you want. Don't you let anybody tell you what it is you should want. It's none of their damn business what you want. What you want is what you want, okay? Everybody wants to tell you how you should spend your money, what you do. It's none of their business. Hey, if you want to spend my kind of money, you go make your own money. You spend it the way you want to spend it. Don't you tell me what to do with my money and what I'm doing. You don't tell me what I want. What I want is what I want. I'm not hurting you. Don't let those guilt mongers out there tell you what you want. You know what I'm talking about? It's none of their damn business what you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, what does it matter? Right? 26, don't rationalize yourself to a pitiful life of mediocrity. And that's what you got to be careful of, right? Because you can start going, well, I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than most. It's okay, you know. I know I'm not one of the top leaders in Primerica, but, you know, my life's pretty good. And you know what I'm talking about? Start rationalizing yourself into mediocrity. The problem with that is everybody that's underneath you, that's looking to you for leadership, that's what they get to follow. That's no good. You hurt when you're not on it, pushing, growing, trying to be better. The people that are following you get punished. Okay? I want to grow like crazy because I want you to grow like crazy, right? So I want to keep growing and growing that picture so that you start seeing a bigger picture, right? So if you're satisfied and you let up and you stop, right, where you are, then everybody else you get stymied too. And you can't do that if you're a leader of men and women, right? You got to do the right thing. So anyways, have a great Christmas. We'll see you next year, you guys.